Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. I'm making this video because I came across this video here, and I'm not familiar at all a lot with this man that I'm looking at right here. But one thing I can tell you is that what this guy is saying in this video, he's absolutely 100% full of crap. And I thought it was important to give you my experience as opposed to the fairy tale that this fool's about to tell. So let's listen to him a little bit.
Attention is that naturalized citizens, people like me, in Trump's second term, with the return of these Stephen Miller-style policies, we just need to be careful. Some are saying, if you leave, have legal representation lined up. Know exactly which immigration lawyer you will call.
Some people. What people are saying that? What people are saying that? Fools? Idiots? Right? Do you believe this guy's going to get stopped at the airport for not looking American enough? Have you ever noticed, right? Have you ever noticed that the whitest people are the ones that are claiming some sort of oppression? This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What this guy is saying is 100% full of crap. Let me tell you, I just crossed the border by car with so many people that I looked like a human trafficker, right? And let me tell you, for those of you who don't know, my wife is Asian, right? We have property in Mexico, right? My mom travels to Mexico every other weekend, at least once a month, but usually multiple times a month, okay? Not one time has she ever had a lawyer on retainer. And my mom is clearly Hispanic. She doesn't have blue eyes. She doesn't have your light of a skin, right? And this guy thinks that he's going to get harassed at the airport. Jesus Christ.
And that they will be available to take your call in case you end up in one of these situations. Think of it. Legal representation to re-enter a country you are a citizen of.
Oh, Macaulay Culkin, shut up. Shut up. This is just alarming BS. So let me give you my perspective, okay? I travel a lot. And the way this guy cries, it's like he's never traveled. When you go abroad, you have to have your passport for everything on you 100% of the time. They're asking you, papers, please, papers, the papers, we need the papers. That's right, everywhere you go, especially in countries where you look like a foreigner, right? But especially when you come back to the U.S., right, people don't assume when you look like me that you're American, right? And I've never encountered these issues. Why is it? Well, I mean, I don't dress like I'm a member of MS-13, for starters. I don't smell like weed. I'm not drunk. There's certain stupid things you can do, right, to get pulled over at the border. And a lot of it has nothing to do with your legal status, right? One of the only times that I remember being pulled over at the border, and it wasn't because we were hammered out of our mind. It was because, every time we used to cross the border, we used to get hammered. We used to go in this van, and it's just a boys' trip, right? Just the men in the family. And my father-in-law had brought some food that he wasn't supposed to have. Some weird animal. I can't remember what it was. And that's why we got pulled over to the side, right? And they didn't give us a ticket for being drunk. They didn't send us back. Any of this stuff. Right? It's just normal stuff. But again, we're not criminals, right? We didn't do anything wrong. We don't have a record. Have I been interviewed? Like, I've been asked questions like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going home. What are you going to do? I'm just going back home, just going to go to sleep, right? Not questions like I got in China. In all fairness, the country where I was questioned the most is probably China, but they still let me in. Still had a great time. But do you think that this Macaulay Culkin looking sucker is going to have a bad time at the airport or crossing the border because he doesn't look American enough? Dude, you're so full of crap, your eyes should be brown. Guys, if anybody looked like a human trafficker coming back from Mexico, it was me, right? Check this out. I'm coming back with a caravan. I'm the lead car, right? Coming back. In the caravan, there's Asian, there's Central American, I have Jewish. I'm bringing in like the United Nations, right? And the biggest problem that I had crossing the border is actually standing on the line with all the different street vendors accosting me, trying to take my windshield wipers off, right? Like, well, change it for $20. You do the first guy, and there's another guy later on is telling you that he'll change it too. The little kids, the little girls asking for money, and they're poor, and the mom with the kids. There's also a lot of food and beverage there at the line if you want it, right? But that was the biggest problem that I had crossing the border, is just the amount of people and the amount of vendors attacking our cars trying to sell us crap. But once I got through, they didn't look at me sideways. They didn't look like, hey, you look like MS-13. We're going to pull you over. None of that crap. And if anybody looked like he was trying to cross people across the border, it was me. And I didn't get any of this. You don't see me making videos about, the immigration officer asked me where I was going. It was so traumatizing. I couldn't take it. What a wuss. I can't believe these people get this many views on BS. This guy is absolutely 100% full of crap. Now, I have been stopped several times in Mexico, and I have been stopped, once in a while here in the U.S. with good reason. I get, in my youth, not now, right now when I'm a grandpa now, right? I'm an older man. But in my youth, I used to partake a lot of the food and drink, especially in Mexico, crossing the border. Should I have been questioned? Absolutely. I was crossing the border out of my mind. And it was great. The one thing about the 80s that was great is we would cross the border back and forth. We didn't have all this drama, none of this crying, none of these wusses like this guy right here. It's not like that. People are trying to do their job. They're trying to keep people safe, whether it's this country and other countries. And let me tell you, you need to travel. If you feel this way, you need to travel and see how different it is abroad. Everybody tells you a good story. Oh, it's so great over here. Go. Don't believe me. Don't believe anybody. You take your passport and you get out of the country. The biggest problem you have coming back is going through customs. Such a long line. There's so many people, right? Depending what time, that's when I get back to the U.S., the biggest time waster is just standing in line through customs. I travel very light, especially when I travel to the Philippines, because I have a home over there. I don't need to really bring anything. I have clothes over there, have everything over there. So I usually just have carry-on because I have clothes over here. I don't need all that stuff. And my biggest problem is not immigration. It's not all this crap that this guy is saying. It's just getting through that damn line. But one thing that really makes me sick to my stomach is boys like these claiming that they're suffering in the same way that people that are actual foreigners are suffering. None of the things that this guy is saying will ever happen to him. This guy is full of crap. And when this happens most of the time, guys, in my experience, and I've traveled more than most, in this you know what administration was harder to travel? Obama's. That's when I got questioned the most, during the Obama years. And I never held it against the officers because they're just doing their job. I understood why they were doing it, right? Because unfortunately, all the guys that were trying to smuggle crap in looked like me. I looked like Pablo Escobar. They're just trying to do their job, right? It's like if you're looking for, if you're looking for the mafia, who are you gonna pull over? White old ladies, right? Are you gonna pull over Asian people if you're looking for the mafia? No, right? And if it's to keep people safe, that's great. But this will never happen. to this man right here. I crossed the border multiple times, and I've never had any of these issues. This guy right here is full of crap. Not only that, right now they're deporting less people than in previous years because a lot of people are just leaving, number one. Number two is nobody's doing stupid crap. They already know that the border's tighter. But if anybody's going to get harassed, believe you me, it's not going to be a wuss that looks like Macaulay Culkin. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.